The last episode gave an account of the first race of the Volkswagen Vento Cup season 2016. The first race of the season was dominated by Hyderabad driver Ishaan who secured a pole-to-podium finish in the race. Ishaan led the race right from the first lap till the checkered flag in the 12 laps race and left no window for Karminder to overtake, who had to settle for a second position. New driver Keith D'Souza withstood the pressure put on him by Aditya Pawar and defended his position throughout the race to finish third.
Hello and welcome to Pits to Podiums, where we bring you an exclusive coverage of the Volkswagen Vento Cup 2016.
With the grid for the second race being as per the reverse grid rule, race 1 driver Ishaan was to start the second race of the season from 8th position. Karminder, who would be starting 7th, has a positions advantage in keeping Ishaan at bay and aiming for a race win. However, there are fine drivers like Aditya Pawar, Keith D'Souza and Jeet Jhabak, amongst the others, who have given promising performances over the weekend and will be difficult to surpass. All said and done, the positions where all the drivers will steer out of the first corner of lap 1 at will determine a lot about their race finish.
Race 2 uses the reverse grid rule, as per which top 8 finishers from race 1 are reversed in position to make grid for the second race. Not only does that make the race a lot more interesting, but also gives an opportunity to other drivers to make the most of front row on the grid without getting caught in traffic. rain gods have showered their blessings on us and the track is squeaky clean. I mean, when we said that we want this race weekend to be far more thrilling and exciting, this is not what we had in mind. The weather has been rather unpredictable, wherein there were drizzles, then it stopped raining, and then again it started raining. So it was always a question of should the cars be sent on wets or slicks or what? So finally the track is still wet and the cars are going on wet tires. The drivers don't have any experience, any track time driving in wet, and a lot of them are going to be racing on a wet track for the first time ever. We just wish them luck. We just hope they play it safe, it's a clean race, and may the best person win again.
The weather had been rather unpredictable throughout the weekend, with a thick cover of clouds. But the situation got worse on Sunday, just before the start of the second race of the season. With light drizzles setting in, the decision to go on slicks or wet tires was an important one. As the cars lined up to exit the pit lane on slicks, it started raining heavily and the cars were brought back into the pits for tire change. A quick tire change was done and the cars went out for a wet race. Reverse grid start for the second race of the day meant 8th spot finisher Sri Venkatateja started on pole position, joined by Niranjan Todkare on the front row and followed by Amit Mete and Jeet Jhabak on the second row. Race 1 winner Ishaan Dodiwala started 8th, while second position finisher Karminder Pal Singh started 7th. Charging right from the beginning, Karminder Pal Singh made crucial moves on the first lap itself and came up to the third position. Ishaan Dodiwala also ensured that he climbed up to 5th position by then. By the end of the second lap, Karminder Pal Singh had moved up to the top position, followed by Ishaan Dodiwala in second. Both of them retained their positions all the way to the checkered flag. Aditya Pawar, having started 5th on the grid, finished 3rd on the podium. New driver Jeet Jhabak maintained the consistent performance he had showcased in qualifying and race 1 in the second race of the weekend as well, and finished 5th, keeping his charging rivals at bay.
That was one hell of a race. Let's see what the race winners have to say.
Pretty happy about it. Not the most happiest because I was not the quickest. The second race was really good, as you all saw. It was wet, damp conditions, going into dry as well, so it was quite tricky, but it worked out for me, and I performed as much as I could.
It was like a monkey which was on my back. I had to get it off, and I was really happy because the entire weekend basically just went as I planned. Fastest lap, pole in quali. It was a good race. Some are taking baby steps, some are just jumping. So let's see how it goes. It was a good race.
Yeah, looking forward for the next round.
Blue flag. This is to indicate a driver in front of another car, and he has to let the faster car through. The black flag is for the naughty ones. You are disqualified.
And probably this is the flag that no one wants to see.
Yeah.
One of the most important lessons for a race driver when he's at the track is knowing the flags well, because that's how the marshals communicate with him when the driving session is on. So here we're joined by Karthik, who's Polo R Cup 2014 champion and Volkswagen Motorsport India development test driver, to tell us more about the flags. So let's see if you remember the flags well.
Right. So first off, this is the yellow flag. So there are two versions of it, the single yellow and the double yellow. The single yellow is basically to let the drivers know that there is a bit of a caution out on track and you just have to slow down for that sector. And a double yellow is just two yellow flags just waved around, and it means there is a significant danger out on track and you have to slow down a lot. Yeah, wave it together. And next up is the blue flag. This is to indicate a driver in front of another car, and he has to let the faster car through. So then we come up to the red and yellow vertical stripe flag. So this is to let the drivers know that the track is slippery. It could be an oil spill, or it could also be a light shower. So it's just to inform the drivers that there might be a lack of grip in that sector of the track. The green flag is just to know that everything's fine and they can do whatever they are doing in the first place. The black and orange is quite an important flag, because this is to let the drivers know that there's a mechanical damage to their car. It could be anything from a bumper hanging loose or smoke coming out of the bonnet that the driver doesn't know, and he has to pull into the pits and repair it. It usually comes with a number board so that the car which has the damage knows that it has to come in. The red flag is brought out if a session is cancelled or a race is cancelled. So if it comes out, if it's qualifying or practice, the driver pulls into the pit. If it happens on a race and the race is not complete yet, they line up on the grid for a fresh restart. The black flag is for the naughty ones. You are disqualified for unsporting maneuvers or anything. If you're not a good racing driver, probably black flag. The final one, checkered flag. All the fun stops, just pull into the pits.
Or maybe you win when you see this first.
Exactly.
So this is the flag every driver wants to see and be the first one to see. And probably this is the flag that no one wants to see.
It was a perfect weekend for Arjun Narendran, who scored a hat-trick by winning all the races of the weekend in ITC category with his near-flawless driving. In the second race, he made the spectators come on the edge of their seats with an action-packed pole to flag victory. Despite starting fourth on the grid, due to reverse grid rule, Narendran opened up a huge lead early in the 12 laps race. Behind him was a battle for second position in the race between Ashish Ramaswamy and Deepak Paul Chinnappa. Ashish, running third, eventually passed Deepak, struggling without brakes with a brilliant move on the inside of turn 1 to finish a credible second. Starting the third race from pole, Arjun secured an easy third win of the weekend with exceptional driving. Ashish Ramaswamy finished second and Deepak Paul Chinnappa grabbed the third position in the third race of the weekend. In IJTC, Keith D'Souza won the second race of the weekend, with Vinod S finishing second. Podium in the second race of the weekend was completed by V. Nikantaram. In the second race of the Rookie Cup, Arya Singh grabbed the race win with Raghul Rangaswamy finishing second and Tejas Ram finishing in the third place. The third and final race of the weekend in the Rookie Cup was dominated by Tejas Ram, who was chased closely by Alex Bora finishing second, and Arya Singh completed the podium. Raghul Rangaswamy from performance racing was elevated to first spot in the Super Stock race after original winner Deepak Ravi Kumar was excluded for a technical infringement. Race Concepts Viresh Prasad and Performance Racing's Sudhanand Daniel finished in second and third positions respectively.
This episode of Pits to Podiums to an end. Join us for the next show as we go to the second round of the championship at the Madras Motor Racetrack. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for all live feeds and updates, and on Instagram for all cool pictures from the races. Till then, thank you so much for watching, and remember, do not take racing to the roads, keep it to the racetrack.
Next week, Volkswagen Motorsport India heads to the Madras Motor Racetrack for the second round of the season. With the track being new to most of the Vento Cup drivers, it will be interesting to watch how quickly they adapt to a new circuit and continue giving each other a tough fight in the races.